everyone, Caren Glasser here, and welcome to the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. I welcome guests from all around the globe to share how they're maneuvering through a world that worships youth and shames the beautiful process of aging. Today, we are welcoming fashion designer Caren Levitt to the show. The topic is how to be the pilot of your journey. If you're here live, we're delighted you're here live. Make sure you comment down there because we will come back and respond to you. If you're here on replay, even just as good, maybe even better, I'm not sure. Make sure you comment down below and we will come and make sure to respond. And of course, share. Go ahead and push that share button. You know you want to send it out to your network and get them into the show. We have an amazing guest today. Her name is Caren Levitt. She's been in the fashion industry since the mid-1980s, working with an off-price clothing franchise, Daffy's. I remember that. For 18 years, she experimented with design. When they closed, she turned to the online discount retailer, Ideally. At 56, she launched her own label, which she named Caren Pilot, with a focus on sustainable materials. And in 2016, she had 10 stores. Now, in its third season, oh my gosh, Caren Pilot has grown to almost 50 retailers. Let's welcome Caren to the show. And she's coming in right now. And she's here. Caren, how are you?
Hi.
I'm so excited that you're on the show with us today. I'm excited by what you're doing. We have never had a fashion designer on yet. And so I'm excited you're our first. But I always like to start the show with the question, how do you describe a super boomer? I describe super boomers as not being defined by their age. They are defined by how they show up in life, fearless, with a just watch me attitude. So, Caren Levitt, how do you describe a super boomer?
I describe a super boomer as somebody who, regardless of your age and your gender, that you take charge of your dreams and aspirations, and you know how to pivot where you need to pivot, and you just take charge of yourself. And you have guts and gumption. And I think that's what a super boomer is.
I love that. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's a great definition. If you're tuning in live right now, tell us, how do you describe a super boomer? Put it in the comments. And if you're here, of course, on replay, do the same thing. I'm curious, how do you describe a super boomer? So we're going to jump right into the show. If you're tuning in right now, we're talking to Caren Levitt. And the topic today is piloting your journey. Now, of course, I took the word piloting because the name of your company is Caren Pilot. Where does that name come from? What does it mean?
Caren Pilot is a name that came to me when I was starting my new journey. So, as you mentioned, at 56, my career as a buyer had basically come to a halt, and I wanted to create something on my own. So I decided to design a line of sustainable outerwear, home and accessories. And pilot is basically, I'm piloting this journey, that the sky is an infinite place and I'm soaring in the sky. And that's where pilot comes from. Caren does not really mean anything. It's a benign word. It doesn't say male. It doesn't say female. It doesn't say home. It doesn't say pet. So it's just a word that I just put together with pilot.
I love it. I love it. I love the whole visual idea of piloting and that the sky is limitless. I really love that idea. You also are very involved in sustainability. Let's talk about that. Clearly that's a good thing to be doing, but what made you decide to go in that direction when you opened up your line?
I've always liked the material of shearling. It's cow and sheep, and we eat those animals, and the byproduct is the material. So
right.
It's a sustainable product. We're involved right now in a world of fast fashion. So you're buying clothing and you're throwing it away. So this to me is a product that has a long life. So that's the sustainability part about it also. It's not fast fashion by any means. And so in that regard, you're holding on to it. It's not an inexpensive purchase.
Right.
So therefore, people will think twice about it. They'll keep it for a longer period of time. And therefore, it becomes in its own right sustainable.
Which I really love. I mean, I like the idea of not buying stuff that is at literally when if we're looking at the seasons or at the trends, all of a sudden it's out of style and you just bought it. So I know that what's great about what you're doing is that it's pieces that you can put into your wardrobe that last forever and they're there forever. They're quality pieces.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah, no, they are. They totally are. And we're going to tell people how they can go check you out and where to see some of these items. I asked you what your why is. Why do you do this?
I do it because I can and I want to. And I think I sent you that in big capital letters.
Yeah.
I don't judge anybody who doesn't want to, but for me, it was because I want to, and I felt that I could. So I decided that that's what I was going to do, and that is my why.
And you did it. You did it at, you did what you this incarnation of what you're doing in terms of Grand Pilot. You did it at 56. Did you get any pushback from people in your world saying, what are you doing, Caren? You're 56 years old. You're going out on your own. I'm going to put words in your mouth. Maybe that didn't happen, but I don't know. I know that when I do stuff, people say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
I think I'm lucky. At the time, I felt I was getting aged out of what I was doing as a buyer. My husband definitely encouraged me. He's the one who really said to me, just do something on your own. You've always wanted to do it, and put on your big girl panties and just do it. My kids also, they were very encouraging. So I think that I was very fortunate that the people around me really encouraged me, and they definitely cheered me on. And to this day, they're still cheering me on. I try to stay with people who are positive because there are so many naysayers. And sometimes I feel that the naysayers actually give me more energy because I want to prove them wrong, but it's their problem. It's not my problem.
They're projecting on
Correct.
When they say, and I agree with you. I think when they say to people like us, why are you doing this? At your age or not at your age, I think they're projecting.
Correct.
Because they're probably saying to themselves, why aren't I doing this? Right at this age, we live in a really interesting world. I like to call it the pro-age world for all of us who are super boomers or whatever you want to call us. When we get to that certain age, I know that when I was growing up, 50 does not look today what it looked like when I was growing up. 60 definitely does not look. And, we hear the whole thing, 30 is the new 60 or 60 is the new 30 or however that expression. I don't go with that. I just say, whatever age we are the age that we are. But times have changed. Would you agree?
100%. We just looked at the Super Bowl at halftime. Jennifer Lopez is 50 years old. She rocks it. I think she was amazing. So, but that's 50. I think that when my grandmother was 50, I don't think that she looked like that. I think she just looked older.
She looked older. And, it's interesting. I saw a meme that was circling out on the web about this, and they showed a picture of one of the Golden Girls.
Yes, I saw that.
At 50, right? And this is what this person was at 50, and this is Jennifer Lopez at 50, and there's clearly a difference. And I don't know if it's a confidence. You think it's because we are showing up more confident? Are we showing up being feeling that we can do certain things because times have changed? Where do you think this where has this come from? Because it's very different than it was before.
I think now everyone exercises, not everybody, but people exercise now. We're very health conscious, what we eat. We have stores like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. I don't think those stores really existed in the day. So everybody's more conscious of what they're putting in their bodies. And at the same time, I think that there's no limit as to what you can do. I'm sure 20 years ago, there was somebody who was just like a Jennifer Lopez, and people were saying, look at her. So I think that it's because she can do it. That's why she's doing it. And she's fabulous at it. She looks great at it.
Right. And I think she's inspiring a lot of women.
She inspires me.
She totally inspires me. She inspires a lot of women to basically say to themselves, yes, I can.
100%. And that, then
Right.
that goes back to the people who say, why should you be doing this? Or why are you because they're just not. And she
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
she has the guts and she has the gumption and she's just going for it. And she's doing it great.
Oh my gosh, I totally am in awe of what she has accomplished, and what she will continue to accomplish. That is for sure. You have a favorite quote
I do.
from Maya Angelou. What is that quote?
So the quote that I love is Maya Angelou says, my mission in life is not just to survive, but it's to thrive, and to do so with passion, compassion, some humor, and some style. And I love that. It's like a mantra for me every day. And I want to say that I live by that. And I'm trying to be, there's a word that's out there right now. It's like to be authentic.
Yeah.
To be authentic. And
Right.
those words to me are authentic for me.
Right.
So,
Right.
So
they came from her heart.
Yes. And for me, for my journey at 56, I wasn't just looking to survive.
Right.
I wanted to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So those words truly are authentic without belittling that word. They truly are authentic to me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I know that your line has done mostly outerwear up until recently, and you started a home line.
Yes. Yes.
What can people expect to see in your home line?
So with outerwear, it's seasonal. We wear outerwear, and then it's the summertime, and then Grand Pilot is just basically non-existent. My best friend's an interior designer, and she asked me, she said, why don't you just make pillows? Can I get pillows from you? So I'm using the same materials that I do for my outerwear. And I'm working with interior designers and some home stores. And this way it becomes a 12-month business. People decorate their homes, they put pillows, and it's a beautiful thing because there's no shelf life to home.
And it's sustainable because you're using leftover materials, and which I love. I totally love what you're doing. I also love the fact that you are collaborating with influencers. And for those who are watching and saying, what the heck is an influencer? What do you mean when you say that? Well, it's a new way of marketing. It's been around for a little bit, but it's a new way of marketing, right? And basically you find somebody who is in your wheelhouse. It has something to do with what you're promoting or your product or service. And then because they have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, they'll put some information out that ultimately will put eyeballs on what they're talking about. So you're working with influencers. How is that working?
So the influencers have actually found me because prior to starting Grand Pilot, I really wasn't a huge Instagram person. I would go on, I'd follow certain people. So when I launched the company, I knew that I needed to have a more social media presence. So on Instagram, it's really all these people who are looking at the product. Today, for instance, I had somebody who contacted me from Sweden.
Nice.
And she found Grand Pilot and she asked to collaborate with me, and she's from Sweden. And I'm thinking to myself, I live on Long Island. How is she finding me? But social media it's so huge, and I am absolutely not on my game with it. I have a lot to learn. I've been learning, but I have so much more to learn because there's analytics that go into when you're posting things. There's so many different parts of social media that I absolutely do not know.
Makes your head explode, actually, right?
But I'm open. I want to know it all. And so some of the bloggers have come to me, and what they do is they will collaborate with you. And of course, many bloggers and influencers work differently, but the ones that I've been working with, we gift them, and they then post in return. And the ones that I work with have 200,000, 300,000 followers. And so when they post, and I'm thinking to myself, 300,000 people are looking at Gren Pilot. I don't even know 300,000 people. So
Right,
it's a very interesting.
Yes.
It's very interesting. It's frightening too, because you're saying 300,000 people are looking at your product.
But it's working. It's clearly working.
Yes.
And you have found your niche that way. I want to applaud you, because most people would feel very uncomfortable, even jumping into that world, into where you've jumped into the Instagram world, which is smart, because it's visual what you have. You have products, you have beautiful outerwear, and you will have the home items as well. So when you put these items up, they're visual. It's great on Instagram. So congratulations on that. That is awesome. I know that people are wondering, what is your website? How do they go check you out? Well, they can go to www.gren, there's 2 N's in there, yes, grenpilot.com. And when they get there, they're going to see all sorts of things, but they can also contact you there as well.
Yes,
correct?
They can. If you go to contact, they just email me. If you go to Instagram, they can direct message me. It's at Gren Pilot, and we try to respond to everybody.
And so I'm putting up your Insta here at Gren Pilot, again, 2 N's. Don't put only one, because you won't find Caren. Nope. 2 N's, Instagram, 2 N's, and check her out. I mean, because first of all, because she's playing with the big guys here, with the influencers. Go see what she's doing. Go check out her website and pilot your life the way Caren is piloting hers. I have a great amount of respect for you. I look up to women and men that are doing things like this at an age that we were told in the past, you don't do that. You get to that age and you're almost getting ready to retire and I guess lay down and die. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do when we get to that certain age, right? And that's why I say that super boomer for me is just watch me. Don't tell me that I'm supposed to go slow down right now, or don't tell me that I'm not supposed to do this. How do you feel about that?
I agree with you. I just say, just watch me. Just follow your dreams, manifest your dreams, have aspirations, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Those are the naysayers. Those are the people who want to do it and that just don't have the gumption to do it. So I applaud you for doing what you're doing, for bringing all these visions to life, and to bringing this culture of fierce people together.
Yeah. That's selfish on my part, because I just love being in the, with so many amazing, fierce people. And so I actively search for them. As you know, you were introduced to me because I mentioned it to somebody and they said, you need to talk to Caren. So I want to thank you. I know that you're busy. Thank Lisa. I'm going to give Lisa Korn a shout out. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate you. And again, women supporting women. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is all about. I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I know that you are busy. Obviously, you're launching a new line. And I want to thank you, because you have given our viewers something that they would not have otherwise learned and heard about. So thank you very, very much. I'm going to drop you into the green room where I'm going to finish up. You are very welcome. I'm going to drop you in the green room where you will stay until the end of the show, and then we'll pop you back up later. All righty? Thank you. Isn't she amazing? I just love her. The Super Boomer pick of the week, by the way, is, I'm going to put this up here right now. Let's get rid of all these things. Is a beautiful book that is in the Super Boomer Lifestyle store. It's called Fashion, The Definitive History. And I really encourage you to go check this out. And the reason why I picked this book, well, obviously because Caren is in fashion and it's gorgeous. If you are at all interested in the different styles that have come throughout the decades, check out this book. There's a link over here. I'll put the link into the comments as well. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. This is the time that we get into the Super Boomer moment. And this is where I highlight something that just really struck a chord with me. And that was really your why. And it's so simple. And yet I think that people just make things more complicated than they need to be. And when I asked you what your why was, you said, because I can and because I want to. And that's how easy it is, guys. That is how easy it is for us to basically take that next step in our life, pilot our journey, so to speak, because super boomers, we are fearless, We are powerful. And that is because we are super boomers. So go check out Caren. Make sure that you have seen her. Tell her where you heard about her. Make sure you mention the show so she knows where these comments are coming from. Check her out on Instagram. And as always, I want to thank our viewers because we know that you have a choice as to where you spend your time, and you chose to spend it with us today. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Go out and give somebody an awesome day, and we'll see you next week on the next episode of the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. Goodbye.